Welcome back, everyone. Topside Tuesday, obviously supported by Gambler Motorsports. Appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Patrick Morrison here in the booth with Sim Tracks Broadcasting. We should have a fun one lined up for you today. This track may or may not look familiar to you, but I-55 Federated Motorsports Speedway is where we're going to be here deep in the state of Missouri. Guys are getting ready to line up here for qualifying momentarily, but not quite just yet. So what I'll do is we'll talk a little bit about last week's winners, if some of you guys didn't tune in for that. On that update for the winners, Kurt Schatzer finally broke that kind of his winless streak here in the Pro Late Models. He's finished behind a couple of drivers, behind Joseph Grandy, Brennan Lacey, I believe, one time as well, and John Hine. But he finally got his break last week. Coming in second was Joseph Grandy, and Terry Landis in the 161 nailed out that third position. Professor was sitting fourth, and Trent Verstraeten sitting in the fifth position, which Kurt Schatzer so far is doing a fantastic job out there, especially out there for the standings. Standings, of course, brought to you by A&J Custom Creations. They're a prize supplier of the Monday Night Madness Outlaw Sprint Division Series trophies for the winter season. Kurt Schatzer right now is lined up for one of those trophies there, sitting with 306 points and one win here so far in the points chase. Terry Landis, with a good move there so far, has slid up into the second position with 261, and Joseph Grandy only 1 point behind, sitting in third. So these guys are looking to kind of square it away, tighten up that race a little closer, and then kind of really put on a good show and see what we got going on here. Those are your top qualifying times here at the moment. But we'll go ahead, and I think these guys think they're just about getting lined up. There they are. There they are. They're getting out onto the track, of course, for the qualifying session. That qualifying session, of course, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. They're quality racing bodies produced by former NASCAR regional short track champion Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. And we're taking a look here at the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Did a fantastic job in a couple of midgets and pro lates earlier in last week as well, not just in this league, but many others. I definitely try to follow these guys as much as I can as they get around here. Joseph Grandy right now sitting with a solid top four here in the spot, but we'll see. Let's see if I can go ahead and pop that up. Grandy sitting fourth. Schatzer looking to kind of continue his role here. Just over a quarter of a mile, sitting about that 0.3 mark of a mile here at I-55. Looks like John Hines kind of putting around here a little bit. I would want to mention, I did see, if I'm not mistaken, Brennan Lacey out there earlier here in the race. He turned almost 70 laps here of practice, trying to definitely nail down a solid time in that 4:14 here. So we'll see, keep an eye here on Brennan Lacey, 7 there. That may do it. Not too much. Try to see if we got any more drivers out here on the track before we get locked and loaded for this one. Might be a good time to actually bring up our Driver of the Week. Driver of the Week actually is sponsored by the Pitside Podcast. You can join Preston Cranmer and Roger Craig on Sundays as they bring you the happenings in and outside the Coast to Coast Racing League. For the Dirt League, the Driver of the Week was actually Nathan Aldrich. We'll actually see him here tonight in the 5:14. I saw him out there practicing earlier, but we'll see if he's got his confidence up and wants to try it out here tonight. For week 4, he actually started in 21st place in last week's Hometown Hero 360 division and drove to 5th place, passing 16 cars. So he should be feeling pretty confident. I would assume he would be out there. Of course, Coast to Coast opening up their new Asphalt Racing League. This is That brings us to another Driver of the Week, which was Steven Bixler. For the week 4 during his asphalt season, looks like he started in P37 in the pickup division and drove all the way to P8, passing 29 cars. Guys, if you didn't see that, don't forget to tune in, and I guarantee you'll be able to see it once again. Qualifying has ended here, and that should go ahead and do it. I think Roger Craig is trying to sneak out there, but is not going to have enough time. And that is going to put him really kind of in the back starting these heats out, but that's A-okay. We'll go ahead and get those started here. Let's get right to it. starting grid here for Heat 1. Brandon Dittmer, Brennan Lacey for 1 and 2, starting row 2. Patrick Spangler sitting in 3rd with Brandon Templeton 4th. Zach Chapman into 5th, and Terry Landis 6th. Barry Goldner into 7th. So fanboy Brandon Dittmer sitting in that front line. I'm sure he's going to be pretty excited about trying to get a good launch here, but we'll see how well he can do here at the I-55. I know he's kind of been hit or miss here in that 83 machine, but he's got a lot of work to do, and we'll see if he can charge his way forward and continue his streak here. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, in the points, he is sitting 9th as he lines up behind the Steve King Foundation pace truck. Let's go ahead and get these up there on the board. Watch out for Brendan Lacey in that 414. He's going to be smoking hot this time. Kurt Schatzer, of course, will be pushed to the A main, seeing that he got the fastest qualifying time out there. So he gets a little sit-down time. Watch everybody. Next time we might see his machine out there on the track. It will be during warm-ups. Gonna take a couple laps around here behind that Steve King Foundation pace truck. Let's go ahead and mention that pace truck there a little bit and kind of what Steve King is all about. Steve King Foundation was formed to help the dirt track racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, racing officials, track operations personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. If you're looking to learn more a little bit about the Steve King Foundation or want to make a donation, go to www.stevekingfoundation.org. Can't be much easier than that. Pace truck is ducking on off here. That is going to bring Brandon Dittmer and Brendan Lacey here to the front for our first green flag here of the night, broadcast in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Whether you're on the C2C network or they're here on any of my 3 platforms at Simtrax, we appreciate you joining us here tonight as we're taking a look here at Brendan Lacey. Already getting a quick launch here. Slider there by Dittmer, and Lacey gets hammered here. Lacey from 1st all the way back to 6th position. Boy, he's going to have a little talk about that. Patrick Spangler enjoyed that wreck, as you see there, as he slid up 2 positions, and he's going to lead this heat. Away he goes. Super fast out of him here tonight. Of course, Heat 1 brought to you by Langton Mechanical. I know we're running out of time to talk about some of these guys, but we will have plenty of time all night to go ahead and chat about them. Patrick Spangler pulling away here. Brandon Templeton chasing him down. Not too much time left for these guys. Couple laps here left to go in this heat as they come across for lap 5. Shortened heats here tonight, of course, for the Asphalt League. Want to definitely make sure these guys have time out there on the asphalt and stop playing in the dirt. But it looks like, I don't know if Brandon Templeton's going to have anything here for Patrick Spangler. I want to rotate to Brendan Lacey, who dropped back down to 6th and has fought his way all the way back up to 3rd. Dittmer is in pits at this point, so I don't know if he's kind of EOL'd himself and taken himself out, but that's going to do it. Spangler, Templeton, Lacey, Chapman, and Landis. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, putting Goldner into 6th. Man, oh man, oh man. It's a good start to this one here so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at our second heat here. Jeff Barker, Randy Shreves in the front row. John Hine, the professor, sitting 3rd with Joseph Grandy in the 4th. Bob did good, sitting 5th. Roger Craig, one of the finest salty dogs out there, sitting in the 747, sitting 6th. And Nathan Aldrich. We'll see, like I said, I'm curious to see. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that 514 is taking the wheel here tonight, so he's going to be locked and loaded here, and I'm excited to see what he can put down. Heat 2 brought to you by Venom Racing here at the C2C League. It's a racing team actually consists of guys all over the U.S. You'll recognize some familiar names. Isaac Souse, Brian Lawson, Kevin Davis, Mark Gilbert, Malachi Smith, Charlie Weaver, and don't forget Gary Sigelkow, to name just a few. Venom Racing is a proud sponsor of the Coast to Coast Racing League 358 Modified Division. So far, so good out of these guys out there on the track. I'm waiting to kind of see. Jeff Barker gets his chance up front. I notice he gets a good jump. He's able to line it up. Everything stays clean. I just think people are trying, get an angle on him here. And I would like to see Jeff Barker really finish this one out strong for the second heat here in the Coolray Pro Late Model Division. So far, if I am not mistaken, Jeff Barker. Jeff Barker. I am having trouble finding that boy here on the points here. I'm not seeing it. Might be his first run here. Might be. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get it going. Jeff Barker sitting 17th in points, and now he'll be starting first in this heat. Outside line would probably be the more preferred line in these pro late models. Randy Shreves proves that as he's got that outside line holding it so far. John Hine trying to see if he can give a little shuffle up here in that 71 machine, down back toward the bottom. No can do as Jeff Barker's putting on a good block here. Slicing it up so far. Randy Shreves gets the favorable line, and he's going to start pulling away here at this point. Half a second lead off of the nose of Jeff Barker. But Jeff Barker still under fire here by John Hine on the outside. Joseph Grandy's getting boxed in. No lane for him to run. As we saw, he qualified 4th. Trying to push his way around. Looks like John Hine might have just cleared here. Jeff Barker here. Looks like Grandy's getting around just barely. But man, it looks like Jeff Barker holding that bottom line. Seems to be sticking here so far at this I-55 Federated Auto Parts Speedway. But it's just not holding as well as he hoped. As Jeff Barker looks like he might fall victim here to Joseph Grandy with that outside line going through. White flag is out. Randy Shreves still leading this one. I believe the professor's going to have to go ahead and hang his head for second place. But hold him high here as Joseph Grandy's in 3rd. And that's going to do it here for Heat 2. Randy Shreves, John Hine, Grandy with Jeff Barker sitting in 4th. Roger Craig sitting 5th. Nathan Aldrich into 6th. And Bob DeGood, I think, had a little bit of trouble there in the 7th position on that one. That moves us to our warm-up, brought to you by the Oshwegan Speedway Series. Catch all the Oshwegan Speedway action after every Friday night free on GeForce TV. They're featuring live programming year-round and countless of hours of on-demand video, all free. So GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest iRacing action across Ontario. Boom, little smack right there. We're going to keep an eye on some of our Gambler Sport buddies out there. Zach Chapman, we didn't say much about him here tonight. Zach Chapman right now sitting 14th in the points. He's got a lot of work to do here tonight if he wants to charge his way back toward the front. He'll be joining his dad, Tim Chapman, in the Truck Series later on tonight. It's always interesting to see kind of when you take a peek out there at these guys during the warm-ups. You know, these guys kind of, flatten out the track, try a different line than what they're used to qualifying. Try to race around somebody else. Like right now we're watching Roger Craig kind of battle it around out there, I believe, with the 18. That should be actually Kurt Schatzer there on the bottom, fastest man on the track via qualifying. Ooh, the professor gets into him. Oh, man. I think I just saw Jeffrey Kemper launch that thing into the stands. Holy cow. All right. Fortunately, this is only the warm-up. This is not the feature. Only got about a minute left here in the warm-up. We'll head straight to it on this one, guys. Out there, if you guys are watching, go ahead and hit it up in the chat. Tell me what you think about here tonight. See what let me know what you're thinking. If you excited about the dirt series, you excited about the asphalt series, let me know what you think, because I think the asphalt's looking pretty slick here tonight. I'm going to keep it a secret at this point of what we got coming up for the asphalt, unless you check down the link at the bottom where that bio is. Then you'll be able to find out where we're going if you want to spoil it for yourself. But we are staying short track, no super speedway for the trucks here tonight. I-55 is where we're going to be. The tumble-ups here so far. About another 15 seconds here, and that is going to do it for the Oshwegan warm-up. John Hine actually got the first win of the Pro Late Model season, and has yet to resume since. We'll see how well John Hine can do starting on our starting lineup here, brought to you by the Super Dirt Car Series. Super Dirt Car Series is the Northeast Premier Series showcasing the big block modifieds premier driver. From Florida to Canada, the Super Dirt Car Series visits some of the most exciting dirt tracks in front of the biggest crowds. The ground-pounding, earth-shattering, window-rattling beast of the Northeast is the Super Dirt Car Series. Let's take a look at a starting lineup. You guys saw how fast he was. No matter where he is on the track, Kurt Schatzer is going to be the one to do it here in the first spot. Jeffrey Kemper in the 181. We saw him launch there during warm-up. Backup car on the track. Starting second, Patrick Spangler in third with Randy Shreves fourth. You saw that from Heat 1 and 2. And that's where these guys are going to be, starting us with the third row of the guys filing in behind them. Brandon Templeton sitting 5th, John Hine into 6th, Brendan Lacey 7th with Joseph Grandy in 8th. In that 5th row is going to be Zach Chapman and Jeff Barker. Starting kind of way back here. We'll hopefully be able to chase some of these guys down. They'll be fighting their way here toward the front. Terry Landis sitting in 11th with Roger Craig sitting on the outside of row 6. That rotates us to the final guys here on the track. Barry Goldner sitting 13th, Nathan Aldrich in the 14th position, and in the final row, in row 8, Brandon Dittmer with that massive hit he took there with Brendan Lacey in the first heat, sitting 15th with Bob DeGood sitting 16th. Both those guys unfortunately placed dead last in their heats, but they're going to be starting dead last here in the starting run. Let's go ahead and get these guys warmed up here on the track. Let's go ahead and get everything squared away. That way you guys know exactly what we're doing. 30 laps here in this one. Now, I want to keep in mind, there's a 12 incident limit. So these guys start wrecking out. They start mashing each other to pieces. Back to pit road they're going to go. DQ'd, and we'll see them next week. Only one fast repair, so there will be one chance of a mistake. They'll be able to square these cars away, and let's get under Alex and Olivia's fight against childhood cancer. Green flag as Kurt Schatzer takes it away. Barney's got his arm in the air, and wear it out, boy. Here we go. Kurt Schatzer in the lead. He's going to be under fire here quick. Right now, Patrick Spangler slicing toward the inside with Jeff Kemper chasing him. A good stack up here in the back. Looks like Brendan Lacey's getting jammed up here pretty tight. 31 of Brandon Templeton has got him stuck. Tell you if there's somebody to keep an eye on out there is that 71 of John Hine. He's definitely fast in these pro lates, but he gets trapped. Trapped right now on the top side of Brandon Templeton, we were talking about before, is Mr. Consistency of Randy Shreves in the 56. Sitting right now in 4th. Biggest movers of the race is Brandon Dittmer back in that 83. Like I said, after that first heat, it was kind of ugly. John Hine setting up for the turn here, no can do. But Patrick Spangler under fire by Jeffrey Kemper, the 181. Kind of a nasty turn coming out of 4, got a little loose, and he decides to go ahead, let off of it, straighten it back out, and get back underway. But Patrick Spangler, the Triple Crown winner from last season, 305, 360 in the 410s, is hanging in on the outside on these pro lates. Definitely are giving him a run for his money here as we are under caution. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Terry Landis may be under fire on this one. The 161 and Roger Craig might be in this one. Let's go ahead and take a Malcolm Mills replay here and take a look at it. Hopefully not too many of these tonight. 161, Terry Landis here sliding up, and I wonder if Roger gets it. Oh, man. Yeah, definitely the shovel nose there of Roger Craig. Looked like he might have just clipped the 161, but as we all say, that would be an iRacing incident. Mr. Terry Landis may have gotten a little loose out of that turn, and that may have done it for him. So back down pit road, that 161 is going to go kind of square that thing away and get him back out there onto the track. Do want to mention all our replays are brought to you by Malcolm Mills Millwrighting, based in Oakland, Ontario, Canada. Malcolm Mills Millwrighting is a full-service millwrighting contractor featuring custom welding, fabricating, and servicing industrial clients. Look them up at mmmillwrighting.com or Malcolm's Mills Millwrighting on Facebook. Cautions do not count here in this league or for the pro late models or ever here, except then in the asphalt league for the coast to coast. So these guys will be able to lock and load, set them back up, and run it again. Kurt Schatzer will be on the inside lane here, so he should be able to get a good jump on this green flag, and he does. But Patrick Spangler with a lot better expectation on that restart here. It looks like him and Kemper connect. Right now, these two are hammering each other. They better watch out as the incident limit is climbing, as we got another... No caution? Randy Shreves is on the hood of somebody's car here. If I'm not mistaken, that might be Jeff Barker. And no caution. There it is. How was that not a caution to begin with? Holy cow. All right, let's go ahead and take another look at our second caution here tonight. Looks like something may have happened here. This is where Spangler and them connect. John Hine there with Templeton. Hine sends it back to the top and catches Shreves. Yeah, Shreves, it looks like he's trying to recover here. John Hine's hard on the brakes, and then that's it. Interesting spin out here. Let's see if we can get another angle of this here. Yeah, you see John kind of shoot the gap, 31, a little late. Then John back toward the top, trying to see if he could get out of the lane or get out of trouble, and it kind of stirred up some more trouble. So, our professor might be, he might be like in hockey. He might be seeing the penalty box here in a little bit. But we'll see how that 71 fares here tonight. As the Gambler Motorsports team tries to piece themselves back together here and give this another run. Green flag is out. Kurt Schatzer with another great restart here. 39, Patrick Spangler once again is kind of, seems to be, I wonder if these guys are on the same page here tonight, because I noticed that 39 machine is getting an excellent jump. Kurt Schatzer isn't getting the separation he'd like right off the bat. Top line seems to be the favored one here. Through 1 and 2, a couple of guys are trying it low, but not much success here at all. In a one-lane track, it's looking tough. Joseph Grandy's trying the bottom. Seems to be losing a lot of speed here, but Brandon Dickmer's catching him, so it's very interesting to see where these guys are deciding to go and deciding to stay. Out here on the track, got a couple slow-ups out there. Notice it's showing a little bit of smoke along the side of the wall there. I'm wondering if some of these tires are starting to contact the wall. Burn a little rubber into the wall there. Patrick Spangler still sitting second, Kemper in the third, Lacey fourth. Talk about Brennan Lacey up 3 positions here. He's trying to see if he can get himself a podium. But he's got a long way to do it here. Keep it going, caution. Alrighty, let's see what happened. I think it's saying Jeff Barker may be collected here in another one. Oh. Yeah, it looked like Roger Craig kind of came off the top here, rolled his way on down. And then kind of caught him here. See if I can get another angle of this. Boom. No can do there out of Roger's car. Not looking good. I talked to that guy who's setting up those, setting up that camera inside that car. It looked like he had that, kind of the wrong fisheye on there. So that puts us back into the lead. Kurt Schatzer starting in front. We'll see if they single file or double file after this one. I would probably figure they single file after 3 cautions. Away they go. Kurt Schatzer with another start, almost to the halfway point. He's just got to get around. Ooh, boy. Look at this. Hard shot into turn 1. Kurt Schatzer loses the lead here to Patrick Spangler. But Schatzer's going to cross him up. He doesn't have a whole lot of room as him and Kemper squeeze. Look at this. Brendan Lacey squeaking out of this here so far. And Brendan Lacey, just as I say that, gets caught. Boy, I would not want to be in that ear. Who was there for that one? All right, let's go back and take a look at that yellow flag here. Yeah, I want to see kind of what happens here between Brennan Lacey and Zach Chapman, and kind of where Zach comes into play on all this. Yeah, that one was kind of hard to see there. Let me see if we can kind of get another sneak peek at this here. It looks like Zach tries to shoot the gap. Gets a huge run here, and I think Brendan Lacey's just stalled out. Bad entry there with the 414, and it looks like Zach Chapman collects him. Joseph Grandy shoots up toward the top, trying to get out of the way. He saw what was happening. Just no can do, no room. Caution starting to rack up here at this point. I think Roger Craig might still be down pit road at this point. That may be our first guy to the garage. Pace truck is off. And away we go. Kurt Schatzer with a much better restart than last time. Looks like Patrick Spangler fell victim to Jeffrey Kemper. And they're mashing each other up again here in the back. Almost 4 wide here, going into 3 and 4. Whoa! Jeff Barker Loses grip of the wheel there, slides up and collects everybody, and that might bring out our next caution. Yo, Grandy. Wow. And it continues. What in the world is going on? Looks like Brandon Lacey caught in another one here. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, this is rather unusual here out of this going on. We'll take a look here at Joseph Grandy first. We'll kind of see how he got caught up here. Yeah, that's where Barker catches him here. Boink, into the wall. And then Brennan Lacey. There he is behind John Hine. Hine is catching the 36 here. Man. Yeah, Barry Goldner, Brendan Lacey, Barker, all caught in this one. This is getting crazy out here. This is getting crazy. A lot of these guys testing that 12X incident limit here. So they gotta be careful, or we're gonna see a lot of guys getting parked here at this point. So only probably another 12 laps to go left in this one for us to finish this one up. Way we can hopefully, we might be crowning Kurt Schatzer as another man in Coolray Victory Lane, but not after this restart. Let's go ahead and get it done. Mission 22 restart, away we go. Kurt Schatzer able to squeak away from that wall. They kind of bit him a couple restarts ago. Jeffrey Kemper in the 181 and the Mean Green Machine sitting second. Patrick Spangler sitting third. Brandon Dittmer in the fourth. Nobody under fire just yet. We've already got 3 wide again here with John Hine. Yeah, right now, John Hine is seems to be kind of the man with a magnet on him here, as the 36 of Barry Goldner sends it into him, and I think that might do it for John tonight. Alrighty, let's take another peek at this. We got cautions among cautions. We got them by the bunches now. Taking a look here, Brandon Templeton on the outside. Templeton gets into the wall. Collects the 71 of John Hine. John then shoots the gap, tries to continue here, and that does it for him. Yeah, I want to see where Barry Goldner kind of comes into this. Well, that'll do it. So John Hine is out of the race. There's one thing Kurt Schatzer's getting good at in this race here at I-55. He's going to be pretty good at these restarts. He's out a bunch. All right. Race leader just about all night. He's only been challenged a couple of times here, but he's going to get another restart here at the Federated Auto Parts Speedway. Only got 9 laps to hold him off at this junction here in the race. Let's see how Brandon Dittmer's doing back here. Let's see if he's trying to hole shot it right there with Patrick Spangler. Spangler's holding the low line. I guess he's trying to stay safe at this point. Most of the wrecks hopefully have kind of subsided here at this point. Bob DeGood sitting there on the bottom, sitting a strong 5th. No cautions at this point. You're definitely starting to see the moisture leaving the air on the track, so you're going to see a little bit of tire smoke as we head around these turns. Bob DeGood definitely being one of them. You definitely see some smoke coming out of the back of his Pro Late model out here tonight. Starting to lose a lot of speed here. Bob DeGood might have to roll up top as Spangler's leaving him. Spangler's got about half a second gap on him, but now he's under fire by Brandon Dittmer. Dittmer up 10 positions so far in the 5th. Definitely good wreck avoidance by some of these guys is allowing them to continue their charge up front. Both Dittmer and DeGood are up 11 positions here in the race. Seems to be working out here so far. I think Kurt Schatzer's about to run into some lap traffic here. If I'm not mistaken, that should be Barry Goldner in the 36. Yes, it is. So Kurt Schatzer definitely over the radio telling that 36, hold your line and I'll get around. Definitely a lot harder than it looks. Kurt Schatzer still holding it out here so far. Notice that Kurt Schatzer's actually kind of rotating it down the track just a little more. As I say that, he decides to grab a bigger bite of that cushion up toward the top. Definitely blocking from Jeffrey Kemper, who's been really on a roll here so far. Caution. Oh, man. Got a good stretch there. I thought that was kind of going to be it. Wonder if Barry Goldner got tied up in something here. There it is. Yeah, I think Bob DeGood caught the back of that 36. And that might send Barry Goldner out on incidents. So far, I believe I've got 3 drivers out here tonight. Roger Craig, John Hine, and Barry Goldner. Brandon Templeton is a lap down, but it's still out there on the track. And the 31 machine still trying to work it here so far. And oh man, Jeffrey Kemper sitting 4th in points, sitting 2nd right now on the track. He keeps this up, he will kind of maintain that distance where he is from Kurt Schatzer. Kurt Schatzer just seems to be putting a farther and farther distance on the rest of the field, though. But he does that just now here in the restart here. Next time by white flag. Jeffrey Kemper having to play a little bit of defense here there with Patrick Spangler. I think it might be safe to say, as long as Kurt Schatzer can keep a solid line here, he might be able to be safe from any slide jobs here. Kurt Schatzer thinks the slider might come, drops to the bottom. He's going to take the win. Jeffrey Kemper in a shootout here with Patrick Spangler, and Spangler gets 3rd. Spangler only gets it by 20 thousandths of a second over Brandon Dittmer, who was in the 83. That is going to do it for our Pro Late models here tonight. Round up all of our drivers here for the top 3, so hang in just a moment and we'll see if we can track these guys down. Get them locked and loaded. All right, and we're catching up with our 3rd place finisher, Patrick Spangler here. Patrick, you got a copy on me here, bud?
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, man, dude. What a race it was here tonight. Wasn't able to get enough out there to kind of squeak past Kurt Schatzer or Jeffrey Kemper. How was the track out there from your angle?
Well, I'm not very good at Pro Late models, so I don't think I passed one car tonight that didn't wreck. So when Kemper got around me, I knew the only way is if he went down low to pass him. And then Schatzer made the mistake after the one restart down the wall, but collected me and a couple others. But he ran a good race, and then feel bad. Me and Dittmer crossed the finish line. I think that incident pointed him out of the race. So yeah, not a good finish, but got a podium.
Yeah, still was able to collect it, man. I know. I finally get to talk to you. Normally, I've talked to you, there in the non-wings or out there in the 410 series, but here we are in the Pro Lates, man. You came away, now that I have the chance, you came away with 3 championships last season. How's it kind of chalking up to be, this season? I mean, is it the competition much tougher, or are we trying to aim for 4 here in the Pro Lates?
I'm just trying a new division out, and the Pro Lates and the Modifieds are what I struggle with the most, so I want to give them a good chance this season and just try to learn. I'm just hoping to bring in that Renegades Monday Night League. Right now I'm leading it, but that's without drop weeks counting. So I think Lacey would be beating me with the drop weeks right now. So it's a tight battle.
Right, 305, 360s, and the 410s. You continue holding last season's champion, man. I hope you can continue the winning streak here. Third place for you here tonight. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs.
Just you for putting on the great broadcast, Roger for running the league, Tremos Racing, Dad Uncle back home watching.
Patrick Spangler in the 39 machine. Great job tonight.
Thanks.
All right, buddy, that's going to do it for our third place finisher. That moves me to second. Second, of course, being Jeffrey Kemper. Man, oh man, oh man, Mr. Download gets it done in the 181 Mean Green machine. No passes for you tonight, but still second place finish. How'd it feel?
Oh, it felt great. Topside there started getting a little bit thin on 1 and 2, but was able to still maintain it and keep it out of the wall most of the times around, and that seemed to be the best line. I didn't want to take any chances and try to go down to the inside to make a pass and end up, outside the top 3.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely it was Kurt Schatzer. Definitely had a tough machine out there tonight. Was there any hole in his game that you noticed that you might have been able to try to squeak by him there?
Yeah, I felt a few laps. I was a little bit faster, especially on 1 and 2 up the high side, but there was just no chance for me to make the move without risking quite a bit more.
Well, it looked like there on the last lap, he was definitely making sure he was blocking you there from a slider there on the inside line. He did have a little stumble up during one of his restarts. You and Spangler, if I'm not mistaken, were able to try to capitalize on that, but still got hammered to pieces on the way through. Definitely tough out there for sure. Kind of the way it's sitting so far, you're sitting right now in 4th in points. How's the rest of the season look out for you? Is there really a strong point you see kind of turning on and getting a win here, or is it just a tough schedule?
I don't really have a race picked out, but I definitely feel I've been getting a lot better at the late models and keep progressing there. So I'm sure a win will come, whether it's this season or not too sure, but there's a good chance of it.
Right, man. 181 machine coming second. Go ahead and give me shout-outs.
I got to thank my girlfriend and family for putting up with me doing this. I got to thank John Hine and the Gambler Motorsports for bringing me down to their Discord the past couple of days. It's been a good time hanging out with them, getting some pointers here and there on how to drive better. And then I got to thank Roger and Preston, everybody at the Coast to Coast Racing League for all they do. And I got to thank you for putting it on.
All righty, Jeffrey Kemper. Appreciate it there, bud. Down there in the Gambler Motorsports, definitely John Hine didn't have the night he wanted. I'm sure you got a few extra words in your dictionary after tonight. But hopefully these guys can turn it around here heading into the Asphalt League, bud. Good job tonight.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Jeffrey Kemper right there, right now. And we're going to move to Kurt Schatzer right now, a race winner. Once again, here we are. Back-to-back wins for Kurt Schatzer in the 218 machine. How's it feel?
Feels good, pretty good, Patrick.
All right. Well, definitely it's got to. I mean, leading the points, 2 wins in a row, and seconds, most of all this season here for so far here in the pro lates. What track are you nervous about here in the upcoming schedule?
Maybe next week, Lernerville. I mean, there's no wall there, so anything can happen there. But I don't know. We'll see. Just taking each race as it comes here, trying to stack up as many points as I can.
Yes, a lot of guys get dumped there and end up sending it over the edge. Try your best not to do that. These pro lates, as soon as that right tire's off, it's hard to rehook them back onto the racing surface. Out of this race, you seem to be kind of the restart king on this one. Patrick Spangler almost had your number on a few of them. How nervous were you when you caught the wall?
Oh my God, man! I thought it was over with there. I don't know if you realize, but the wall actually sticks out a little bit as you go in. They don't quite line up right. So once that cushion gets worked up, it doesn't quite match up. So and it jumped out there and bit me. So luckily, I was able to fight back and bring it on home.
Yes, you were, man. I was biting my nails over here, man. I was like, holy cow, he hit the wall. And now, and that just started almost a 3-wide condition, and people stacking up in the back. Definitely from your restart there, but it just seems you're coming on hot exactly when you need to. I just hope no one turns the fire off at this point, because the winning streak continues for you here, back-to-back weeks here, and just it's amazing. Can't wait to see what you got for us on the Gambler Motorsport Topside Tuesday next week. So go ahead and give me your shout-outs there, Kurt.
Yeah, I got to thank Dirt Track Bank, Jay over there. They do a lot to help us on the team and racers all around the country. And Joe Halter over there got your Six Racing Network. All the boys on the team there, Brandon Templeton, I got to congratulate him. He got a 360 win, non-wing win earlier tonight that wasn't televised. Um, Brian Dickens and you guys in the broadcast, Roger giving us a place to race, and everybody helps out the league.
Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Keep the charge going, man, and we will definitely from outside here watch and see how well you can keep getting it done each and every week. Good job tonight.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that wraps up our reviews here for the Dirt League, but don't fret. Racing's not over. We're going to go ahead and move our way on over to the Asphalt League. And definitely we got an awesome show for you there as well. It's going to be a stack up. It's going to be a stack up. If you think this race tonight was tough, I know it was kind of riddled with some cautions, but hopefully these guys are going to be able to square it away here and really be able to put some times down. It's going to be a mashup going into this Asphalt League. So guys, hold in just a moment, and we'll be right back after these commercials.
Hi, my name is Livia Olson. I am an industrial engineering senior and club volleyball member here at Penn State.
And I'm Alex Ryan, a computer science senior and another club volleyball member. And we're excited to announce that we're planning to dance in Thon 2023.
Thon is a 46-hour, no sitting, no sleeping dance marathon aimed towards raising funds to support those affected by childhood cancer. It is the largest student-run philanthropy in the entire world. We'll be dancing in honor of one of our best friends, Jesse King. Jesse is also a part of club volleyball, but a lot of us would consider him family. Immediately, freshman year, Alex and I clicked with Jesse and all the other new members of club volleyball. We went to the dining hall together for a lot of our meals, spent weekends together, and ended up going on vacations together. It really does feel like family to us.
Going into junior year, Jesse was supposed to live with myself and a few of our other friends, but he was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in March of 2021. He's been through chemotherapy, it's been a year since he's finished radiation, and we can officially say that he has no active cancer. Currently, he is undergoing physical and cognitive therapies.
Thanks to Thon and Four Diamonds, the King family and many other families have yet to see a bill related to medical expenses, hotels, parking, gas fees, and all other related travel expenses. It just goes to show that every dollar raised truly does go a distance. It allows families to focus on the recovery of their child as opposed to financial stress.
Because of this, we've got to spend a lot more time with Jesse and his family, who are the nicest people in the world. They throw awesome tailgates, and every time we see them, a little bit more of the Jesse that we know and love peeks through.
Until then, we are fully committed to the mission of Thon and Four Diamonds by raising funds to support the Kings and all the other families affected by childhood cancer.
With Thon less than 100 days away, we're asking that you consider donating. Regardless of the amount, it will make an immense impact. To donate to our donor drive, please scan the QR code or click the included link.
If donating isn't in your cards today, please share this video with those around you. Help us get our fundraising past the finish line.
This is a race that families can't afford to lose.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat. Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
At Coolray Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical, we've proudly been the leader in serving the Southeast since 1966. And nobody is more committed to delivering industry-leading excellence to the Nashville community than we are. We're number one because we've got the best and brightest HVAC technicians, plumbers, and electricians. And you can count on us 24/7, 7 days a week. Go to coolray.com to learn more.
Welcome back, everybody. After the commercials, we'll take a little peek at the track here tonight. That track, of course, being Richmond International Speedway. 1 mile here for these guys to battle it back and forth. We're definitely seeing Jeremy Tate here in the 8 get a little bit loose in his Toyota. We talked to Mr. Download, Jeffrey Kemper, in the 181. I know I kind of ride him there a little bit, but actually last week he was the winner here in the Chapman Pickup Cup. So definitely we'll keep an eye out for him so far. Right now, locked and loaded here so far. I've got 33 drivers, so we'll see how many can squeeze together out there. I definitely expect to see some bashing and banging, some bent panels, and we are definitely going to, we're going to have a fun one here. We're definitely going to have a fun one here as these guys get ready to square this one off for the race here tonight. Let's take a peek at the race. 75 laps is what we got for this one. No, it said unlimited tires, but a quick little update. Only 3 sets these guys are going to be locked and loaded for, but at least, fortunately, they'll have 2 faster pairs. 78 degrees in the air and on the track, so shouldn't be too bad there on, kind of tacking up, being able to get a good stick and figuring out, whether this is going to be the best line and where these guys have been practicing. So let's keep an eye out there on our best time, see who can do the best out there so far. I want to keep an eye here. Zach Chapman, I know in the 72 Chevrolet. He's kind of had a lot of bad luck here lately. Zach Chapman actually placed 9th last week at Texas, so it was definitely difficult out there. I got, fortunately, the chance on Thursday nights with Travis Piercefield over at the Extreme E-Speed TV and raced over there at the in the Xfinity Series. So these guys out here are a lot faster than they look. And it wasn't plagued by cautions as much, unfortunately, like last week. Last week had 76 laps, 7 leaders, 7 lead changes, but unfortunately was plagued by about 10 cautions for 40 laps out there on the track. So these guys are looking definitely to kind of squeeze this one a lot closer together. Oof. As we move over to Matt Robinson here in the 15 Fords, right now sitting 5th. See some heavy right side damage and a clip with the wall there. So he's got a lot of work to do to get his time down. Not looking too good. We were talking about Zach Chapman there, sitting 3rd. Good move by him there so far. Kyle Moonen. No, he's been a heat of discussion here for the Vanderbilt Racing Team. Let's see how Kyle's doing. He's sitting here in the 16th position. That should sling him way up top 3. So expect nothing less than out of that 24 Chevrolet. Zach Neubauer out here. Let's take a peek at him. See how he does. Him and Tim Chapman are just about the same time. Tim's sitting 14th, top 10 at this point. So close. Zach Neubauer, you saw that spin out of 4, and I'm wondering if that's what caught Matthew Robinson. Definitely a little tangle up there. I want to see if we can have a chat down here with Turn 1 Racing. And see if we can have a little chat with him here in the booth. Matthew Robinson, you got a copy on me here?
Sir, what's going on?
Man, all right. This track is a lot tougher than it looks, isn't it?
Yeah. This track is going to try and put your truck sideways every chance it gets.
All right. Well, we definitely saw a lot of right side damage out of that 15 coming out of 4. Is that really the trickiest spot here on the track?
No, that was coming out of 2. Coming out of 2, I ran it long. Was trying not to get sideways and hit the outside wall, and then turn 4, I just lost it coming out of the corner. So good thing I had a good first lap qualifier.
No kidding. I was gonna say I saw the damage on the right side. We queued it right over to you right as you clipped the wall there, and it was man. So it was 2 separate incidents. All right. Well, definitely between you and if I'm not, let me take a look here. Where in the world is Chris Schaefer? Chris
14th.
Schaefer's sitting 14th. So you guys are separated pretty much here. Short track tempers do rise here, though. How are you guys going to work together?
I think it's just going to be we just need to try and keep it clean. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of yellows tonight, especially if we have a lot of yellows at 1.5 miles. I mean, you're cutting it in half with a lot more guys. It's going to be tricky.
100%. 24 incident points. So if they thought the Pro Late models at 12 was kind of stretching it thin, this is going to definitely give them a wide berth here and continue their better option there. I know Texas didn't work out so well. I do not see you here for the top 10. So we'll definitely keep an eye on you here for the charge here later tonight, Matthew Robinson. Great job. Hey, man, if I aren't able to talk to you here in the podium, you want to go and give me your shout-outs while I got you here?
Yeah, shout outs to Turn 1 Racing, my parents, my family, my kids. You always crush it every week, man.
Yeah, buddy. All right, definitely. If you think tonight's going to be tough, you got one worked up tomorrow, don't you?
I'm ready for tomorrow. Michigan feels really, really good to me right now.
All right, well, you are going to start short track, and we'll let you play around on the super speedway later. Good luck to you, Matt.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
All right, everybody, Matthew Robinson there, starting in our 8th place starter here. He's got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do, so hopefully he's able to kind of continue his charge forward as qualifying has ended. That moves us to our starting lineup. Let's take a look at it. John Mateo. Man, if I'm not mistaken, John Mateo, he's been on the pole a few times here, so he's going to be right in the front, no problem on this one. Starting fast, always fast. Christopher Berger sitting in the 2nd position. Let's keep going here. Doyle Lowrance into the 3rd with Kyle Moonen sitting 4th. 3rd row, Zach Chapman with Sean Grace, Brad Wetzel, and Matthew Robinson. We had a chat with him starting on the outside of the 4th row. Mark Gilbert sitting 9th, Jackson Lomax in the 10th, Tim Chapman 11th, and Neil Strausser into 12th. So father and son sitting 5th and 11th. Let's keep it going. Following up with Preston Kramer sitting 13th with Chris Schaefer into the 14th position. Jeremy Tate 15th with Andrew Smith. Sitting 16th, Brendan Lacey. 17th. Yeah, Zach Neubauer. We saw that like a little spin out there on his final lap, sitting 18th. Nathan Aldrich in the 19th with Jacob Butcher 20th. As moves us to the 11th row with Jeffrey Kemper in the 181, last week's winner with Barry Goldner to his outside in the 22nd. Roland Olson 23rd with Terry Landis in the 24th position. A lot of work to do, but he'll be back here with the rest of the guys who are going to be looking to charge their way forward. Starting with Roland Olson, the 23rd, with Terry Landis on the outside. On the 24th position, man, oh man. Gavin Chatham in the 99, definitely not short track night for him, as he's going to be battling alongside Roger Craig at the start. Pat Boyce in the 41, 27 with Steven Bixler in the 75. I would almost question sometimes if some of these salty dogs don't qualify back here and John want to hold it out, wait for everybody to kind of start wrecking up and keep the charge forward. But Pat Boyce and Steven Bixler, 27 and 28. Brandon Ishkanya will be our RC tonight. In 29th, John Hines sitting in the 30th. John Rayner, don't forget, we always see him in the 302 starting 31st. Steven Goldner in 32nd, and Greg Parmalee 33rd. So a lot of drivers out here on the track here tonight. Let's get it done. I know that grid is locked and loaded. We see them stacking up behind the pace car. And like I said, 75 laps here. We already got John Landis out there, rooting on Moon Pie out there. So Moon Pie got some work to do, but he is already starting top 5 on it. As we see these guys getting wrapped around the track. Shouldn't be too many pace laps here. I think they're going to go around a couple of times here, let everybody get their tires warmed up, and get this one squared away. I'm excited. Definitely, I know Barney's been practicing for this one. I think his arm's going to get wore out tonight. 3 sets of tires here at Richmond. These guys need to take care of them. Definitely, I know they could stretch them 25 laps apiece. I don't think fuel will be that much of an issue, but it's still a common possibility that if we can get a long green flag run here. Rule here for the Asphalt League, I do want you guys to keep in mind out there that during the session, if we end up with caution after caution after caution, they're going to go ahead and single file this one out until about 25 laps to the end. So about lap 50, they're going to double them back up again. And to me, if I was a starter here at this track, the last thing, I would like to be single file if I was out in the front. But if you're sitting back here like, Chris Schaefer in the 13, you're sitting, Mark Gilbert sitting 10th. If I'm single file, I'm almost, I'm almost an entire turn behind, and that is exactly what I don't want. So the cleaner these guys run, the better chance some of these guys will have coming to the line here. Pace car is off. Green flag is out. Away we go. John Mateo in the front. Christopher Berger will be next to him. There's Barney. All right, turn 1. This is always going to be the dicey one where everybody squeezes in. So far, so good out of all these drivers here so far. John Mateo leading it. And oh, man, Tim Chapman, I think, just got hammered here. Tim Chapman down 9 positions, and the 79 machine is spun out. If I'm not mistaken, that may be Andrew Smith. We got our first caution. Yeah, definitely is something to see. Is you're going to see a lot of short track tempers here tonight. A lot of guys kind of battling back and forth, and it's not really, any rhyme or reason to kind of collect this one up and figure out the best way for these guys not to mash each other to pieces here. But we'll keep an eye here actually on the 79 machine here. Let's take a peek. That's 79 here toward the top. You see where Tim Chapman got nicked here. But then the 79 looks like he tries to... backs up the turn big time. And Jeremy Tate clips him here. Brendan Lacey. Good move by Lacey in the 414. And it looks like everybody dodges the 79. Let's see if we can sit with Brendan Lacey here and kind of take a peek at what he saw coming into this one. See if we can get a good angle here. There we go. Yes. Brendan Lacey coming up on the 79 machine here. Man, so smooth. So smooth. excellent out of him. And I thought I saw something happening farther in the back here. Looks like Roger Craig. Something happened here in the back. I think Roland Olson got into Roger Craig here. And I think the wrecking continued. Oh. Yeah, John Hine, he's already got some right side damage too. Man, oh man, these guys are kind of tearing each other to pieces here. Hopefully they are able to kind of cut it out here. Alrighty. Back live now. Pace car lights are still on. A little shout out there from our RC. I don't think he's going to play anything favorable here, but I believe John Mateo is a product of ESW Racing. He says his boy's out there leading it, so definitely we'll see if that 82 Ford, you know, I want to see if John Mateo can finally stay his way in the front. We saw him get mashed up at one point, if I'm not mistaken, at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And he got launched into the stratosphere. So the 82 got a lot of work. He starts up front, but I think these guys are just kind of getting him on a little bit different pit strategy than what he's used to. But let's see what John Mateo can do here. First caution's already out of the way. Ooh, we're actually going to head around for another lap here. Let's see if those pace car lights go out. There they are. Definitely something to see if you guys haven't been to Richmond. When these guys actually get going around, it almost seems a solid line. Once these guys get spread apart, good green flag laps, the nose will catch the tail. Lapped cars end up happening. That is definitely some interesting things to see out there when they are kind of passing each other. You know, between the lapped cars back and forth, pit strategies, things like that, and it ends up shuffling on the track. And definitely the tempers don't just flare behind the wheel. They definitely get ramped up out there. In the seating, 75,000 live here tonight. John Mateo is going to go ahead and lead another restart. 7 laps into this one. Let's see if we can tighten it up. Kyle Moonen looking to not let him get away here. Only 0.3 of a second, quarter of a second. Now reeling him in, got the favorable line. And Christopher Berger is going to watch him walk away. So a battle for the lead already. Kyle Moonen sends it. See that quick brake check there to reload the front tires. So Mateo's holding that outside line. It's a lot harder to ride inside on that yellow line. It's going to wear that right front tire out something fierce. So Kyle Moonen may have to duck back here a little bit, see if he can wait for John Mateo to kind of loosen up, take it easy. But not too much tire wear if we're still under caution. I believe we are. And Neil Strausser's in this one on the other side of the track. 68 machine of Neil Strausser in this caution. Let's take a peek at it. Neil Strausser here. Whoop. Yep, little just I would much rather be a one-car spin out than collecting half the field. But Neil Strausser just gets a little heavy on the throttle on the outside, on the removal there coming out of 2. And that sends him around. That's definitely... you'll see that when these guys start getting the heat cycling in the tires, so I can't blame him 100% for this, but it's definitely ugly. Let's take a look at it from the inside. Oof. Definitely some damage to the front of that race car. Oof. Not good. So we'll be back under it for another Mission 22 restart here. Taking a look, kind of bird's eye view here at Neil Strausser. Down 18 positions now, sitting 30th. So he's got a long way to go to get caught back up. Man, oh man, oh man. Definitely we'll keep an eye out on some of the drivers out here so far. Yeah, just kind of taking a peek at all of our drivers out here, just kind of scanning the field here, kind of looking to see what we've got going on here. Only second caution here of the night. As Wes racking up here, what's shown. Go ahead and rack this one up here. Barry Goldner sitting 19th. Up 3 spots so far. Hardest charger right now, up only 4 positions, Brendan Lacey. So far, so good out of his machine. Still a lot of work to do. We did see his wreck avoidance that he had before. So the Toyota, not a scratch on it yet. Real good on the side of that Vanderbilt Racing, looking good. Taking a little view from the fan cam. I've actually gotten seats right here before. That's kind of about what the track looks like. So iRacing does a fantastic job taking a good look here at Richmond. Definitely got a lot of fans in the stands here tonight looking for some green flag racing. So up, down, up, down, up, down. You know these guys, everyone stands up looking for that caution, but Barney's got the green flag in the air. Let's see what he's got. Let's go ahead and try one more time. If I'm not mistaken, next time will be single file, so they've got to straighten this out. The cop messing around. Get a little closer to the action here. As we're taking a look, a little bit of shuffling back there already. It looks like somewhere in that Jeremy Tate area. I'd be mistaken, Gavin Chatham, that's where I'm looking. Gavin Chatham is about to be in a 3-wide condition here, with Roland Olson on the outside. You want to say with 10 cautions last week, no penalties anyone is serving here tonight. Definitely forgiving to say the least. Here we go. Already looks like the 37 of Tim Chapman, sponsor of the league, having a little trouble getting around Roland Olson here. Roland Olson making contact with him, and Tim Chapman trying to survive, resurrect his race here. He ended up with definitely a bump out of line, and now he's been fighting to get back forward. We're taking a look at Tim Chapman in the 37 Chevrolet. Keep charging his way back forward. Chris Schaefer, we talked about him. Right now sitting 12th, started 14th. Boy, Brendan Lacey, look at that wiggle out of that 414 who's sitting right in front of Chris Schaefer here. See if Chris Schaefer can kind of keep it all together. I know Richmond's hard to see. You know, it's definitely tough. These guys only turning, about 22.5-second laps. So, you know, these guys get maybe 2.5 laps done per minute, and it's just so little room for error. So little room for error, but it looks like we are starting to straighten this up a little bit. No problems here at this point. Matthew Robinson, we talked to him. He's now here in the 5th position, but he's looking for a line here. Definitely, he's got Doyle Lowrance and Zach Chapman in front of him. Zach Chapman's already moved up in position now, too. Got the inside line. 15 might follow him here. No can do so far as Zach Chapman finally getting his break here. Green flag laps is what he needs. Rotate back here. There it is. I knew something. I smelled something happening. Jackson Lomax is around, and there's our caution. That is going to start a wicked mashup here. Whoa. Still wrecking. Oh, man. Bunch of cars stopped on this one. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Let's go ahead and try to break this one down. Let's see if we can get a good camera angle of this one. Oh, yeah. I'm feeling that chopper view. The Michelin chopper view from up top. Let's take a look at it. Jackson Lomax. Oh, looks like Preston got underneath of him. Collection starts here. Oh, man. And then there's just nowhere to go. I think Tim Chapman squeezes through. Go. Oh. There's Terry Landis. He squeaks through. The 30 machine, that's got to be a Goldner. Yeah, that should be Steven Goldner. Dude. All right. I actually want to see if we can take a look actually at the 07 of Preston Cranmer. Because Preston ended up making contact here with Jackson Lomax. I want to see if we can get a different angle of that contact here. I always try to do that for anybody who's in question. Let's take a look at it from the top. Looks like the 96 may have slowed up just a little bit, and there's the contact. 07 catches him here. Now, I do want to take a peek inside here and kind of finish out this wreck. 7 gets sent around, and it kind of continues. And... Oof. Good Lord. Yeah, Roland Olsen kind of looking for an area. Man, oh man. Difficulties continue for a lot of drivers out there. No one has pit yet. I would say no one has pit, as in no one has pit who has really actually been in the top, believe, of 10 or 12 spots here have not pit. People who were involved in the wreck. Lawrence, he has pit. Neubauer, Kemper, Steven Goldner. We saw that 30 machine kind of get smacked around a little bit. Tim Chapman's come down. Roland Olsen has come down. So I think we got a couple more drivers still down there. Jackson Lomax is still down pit. I think John Hine may have squeaked out lap 20. John Rayner, Nathan Aldrich has come down pit. And I think Preston Cranmer, we'll see if he returns. I was showing Preston Cranmer may have had to tow. I don't know if something broken or he's taking it to the garage. Definitely difficulty do continue here for Preston Cranmer. But I will admit, Preston Cranmer right now is holding a third-place points position with 189, 9 points over Zach Chapman, who's sitting fourth. Our points leader is none other than Chris Schaefer. And Sean Grace with 1 win already. So far this season, sitting second in points with 213. So pace car lights are out. We'll get restarted here. Maybe giving them another mulligan here, starting at double wide. But now's where pit strategy starts kind of coming into play for a lot of these drivers. Right now, when you have had the back half of your racing. A grid here is it, now all of a sudden these guys are going to start really shoving their way through from the back to the front on these fresher tires. I probably wouldn't say tires were 100% of a necessary thing to have so far here in the race, as most of them have been under caution. But it might be a quick little top off, maybe straighten up the race car for some of these guys, only taking right sides from the pit stall times IC. 4 tires and fuel were taken by all. But as we get back to the tracking strategy-wise, getting that out of the way, John Mateo still leading this one here. Zach Chapman sitting second, Christopher Berger third, and Matthew Robinson trying to see if he can post a bid here for that third place, but no, not yet. This is sitting fourth, and Sean Grace in a solid fifth position. So far, so good. Biggest mover out of our top 10 is Brennan Lacey in the 7th position. He's moved up 10 positions here so far. And trying to hold him off at this point, as we see he's stuck on the outside of the 76 Ford. Right now, looks like Lacey has the advantage on the top end. On the rollout here of 4, man, definitely keeps it a lot straighter than he did a few, about 7 or 8 laps ago. We saw him wiggling coming out of 4, definitely tough there. But I think Matthew Robinson, once again, making another shot here for third, gets it. Christopher Berger, unfortunately, is having to give that one up. Looks like Bixler toward the top. Not sure what happened with the 75 machine. 75 about to end up in a lot of trouble here, being in a bad spot on the exit of 4. Definitely a safe spot here on the track is low. Oh, man, definitely at top. Keeping an eye here on Bixler. Roger Craig running high line. And I think everybody got through there unscathed. Let's rotate back up toward the front where some of these battles are. Chris Schaefer, if I'm not mistaken, is fighting along Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith has been trying to hold him down there for a couple of laps from what I'm seeing here. But, you know, Chris Schaefer running that ragged edge down there on the paint. He's going to see if he can hold him there, but no can do. Chris Schaefer already into the top 10, but he wants more. Not so good, Chris Schaefer. He has not pit yet. Neither has Andrew Smith. So for a fresh set of tires may be in, up for grabs here. Or the pit crew are already on the wall with those tires to go ahead and let these guys, probably get them on there. It's just not enough time on the track. We're already, bam, there's lap 33, and it just keeps chugging and chugging and chugging here once we're under green flag. So some of these guys who have already pit, if this thing stays green all the way to the end, they may capitalize on this one and actually be out front more later on in the race. At least one pit stop will be required here. Only 50% fuel limit in these trucks. So you definitely want to pit under caution. Pitting under green can be hazardous. Only 2, it'll put you at least 2 laps down. Seeing that one of our fastest pit stops out there was about 46 seconds. So you'll be 2 laps down on your way out, then you've at least got a warm-up lap, and at that point you're staring at the guy who lapped you right in your rearview mirror again. But teetering on the edge, Chris Schaefer still with Andrew Smith here. Back and forth these guys go, but we got another caution. This might be a perfect time for all your leaders to come down, reaching almost that halfway point of this race. Trying to see if we can take a peek back here and see what ended up happening for this caution. And we kind of saw this was happening before. Here's Steven Bixler in the 75, running behind Olsen. Rotate. Oof. Yeah, now Bixler had pit on lap 29. Got 4 fresh tires and back out onto the track. We saw he was getting lapped a couple of times there. But gets caught up in this one, but once again, at least no one got caught up in this one. And he is able to continue racing here. I don't know about you guys. I really hate when you start seeing your favorite driver out there, or a couple of guys getting collected, and it just gets all mashed to pieces. So let's go ahead and take a look down pit road. Pit road already starting to get really fired up here. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle on that garbage. Let's take a look at it here. Looks like Zach Chapman's able to get off the line first. A couple of people who have not pit. John Mateo and Chris Schaefer have yet to pit. Out of the guys who pit on lap 36, Zach Chapman is the man to beat off pit lane. Good pit stall time by him. Christopher Berger will be behind him. Sean Grace, Brad Wetzel, and Matthew Robinson. But interesting to see, John Mateo has not pit yet. I think he's considering hanging out there. And then beyond that will be Steven Goldner, Zach Neubauer, Tim Chapman, Doyle Lowrance, Jeffrey Kemper, and Roland Olson. Now, all these guys between 3rd and 8th position have all pit on lap 21 or 22. And that's what I was saying earlier is about these guys who had pit on that lap 20 area will now be in the front line. So it's looking pretty sketchy out here for some of these drivers, kind of really what is the right area and kind of what is the right strategy at this point. I've tried this before. I even tried it last Thursday, pitting much later in the race, and it kind of destroyed the last of my strategy, what I was hoping to kind of achieve. But some of these other guys are just, kind of considering at this point, this is where we're going to be. If you're like Zach Chapman right now, he is sitting right now top 10, still has opportunity, to continue battling here, as the rest of these guys may or may not have to pit again. It's still a possibility. We'll see if we can actually, let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can have a little chat with him here. Let's see if we can have a chat with him here. Zach Chapman, you got a copy on me?
Hey, what's up, Patrick?
Hey, man. All right. Well, definitely not going with the same pit strategy you and I did on Thursday. How's this one going to work out for you here tonight?
Hey, I hope it doesn't, but if we keep getting cautions at that rate, you won't see me pit again. I'll be able to make it on gas, and I'll just try to hold off what I can. But if we can get some long green flag runs, I think my tires will pay off here, and I'll pit again with 10, 15 to go, and then it'll be a shootout.
All right, definitely for certain. I would totally agree with you here, and definitely, kind of whether it being a 2 or a 4 tire pit stop, but a full tank of fuel, 100% here at this one, as we've already broken over that halfway point. Double stack, you guys are going to go, starting 9th position. Zach Chapman, good luck to you, bud.
Thanks, Patrick.
All right, everybody, we're taking a look here at Zach Chapman, definitely rolling around here in the 9th position. He'll be kind of chasing his dad here, but he's got a lot of work to do, as a lot of these guys are staying here in the front. Green flag is back out. Get Zach Chapman back down to the Gamble Motorsports team here. And as we rock around the track, Steven Goldner has already taken 2nd position. 30 positions up, and we've seen this before. Uh-oh. Boy, we got excited about being under green. Some of these guys a little too excited. Jackson Lomax being one of them. Neil Strausser, Rayner, and Gavin Chatham are in this next caution here. Definitely Mission 22 and Malcolm Mills Millwrighting are getting their money's worth here tonight, saying that we are back under caution here. Let's try to take a peek at it from the top side here and see what exactly unfolds in this wreck. John Rayner gets into the back of Neil Strausser, but Bixler gets into Chatham. So it's kind of a double whammy here. And Jackson Lomax just wrong place, wrong time. Nowhere to go. Neil Strausser. Wow. Poor guy. He has been in nothing but trouble here most of the night. See if we can take a good shot at what he's got going on this one. Shot there by 302. Oh, man. 2, 3, 4. No. Yeah, I guess John Rayner's trying to kind of bump him and see if he can get him pushed around, but no can do. Go and bring it back live here. Already looking at Neil Strausser in the 68 Ford coming back down pit lane again. Not a frequent offender here in this coast-to-coast racing league for any wrecks out there, but just nowhere to go. Getting hammered around each and every night is just not looking good for Neil Strausser here in the 68 Ford. I know he'd hate to see this. I always try to give people a good amount of camera time here, but man, I just definitely Hate to do it when they're getting all mashed to pieces. Hopefully Neil Strausser has some faster pairs left here, as he uses probably his last one for tonight. So we have a new leader. As we saw John Mateo already get knocked out there. John Mateo and Chris Schaefer have both pit on lap 42. Tim Chapman, I think, has come back down as well. But you want to talk about from the lead to 19th position. That is a long charge toward the front. And Zach Chapman might have the idea. If we keep getting these cautions, he won't have to pit. But man, I would definitely be clutching these cars in, trying to save as much fuel as you can. See if you can squeak it out, but so far so good out of our drivers. Still got at least, I think, 30 still on track out of the 32 that we started with here. All right, one of my favorite things, pace car that has its lights out. That's going to get us Stephen Goldner and Zach Neubauer in the front row. Doyle Lowrance and Mr. Download, Jeffrey Kemper, 3 and 4. Roland Olson will be starting 5th with Zach Chapman starting 6th. So we saw him in 9th, 3 positions up already, but he's got to go up 1 to start, at least get back where he started this race. Christopher Berger sitting 7th, Sean Grace 8th, Brad Wetzel in the 9th, and Matthew Robinson rounding out our top 10. Definitely back and forth here for Matthew Robinson's pit back on lap 36 with most of these other drivers. He should have enough time to continue getting this one, keeping it close. All right, let's get locked and loaded here for the next green flag. Barney's got it in the air, and away we go. Stephen Golden with an awesome restart here. And he gets the separation he's looking for. But guys, already trying here, and if I'm not mistaken, Christopher Berger is one of them. A fender for a 3 wide there. Boy, squeezing Roland Olson out, pushes him back to 7th. Almost makes contact. There it is. Roland Olson pops him here, and it looks a little bit like Atlanta. Great job by Berger. Hold it. Come on. No, not back up the track. No. No, Brennan Lacey with almost a flawless night here, and the 414 gets hammered. 6 cautions here tonight. Only 4 less than last week. Boy, another bad one here. That is definitely, if there aren't tempers after this one, I would be surprised. Let's take a look at it from the top. Yeah, Berger, I give it to him right here. This is excellent save. He keeps it here, but I think he was hoping that bottom line was going to give him a little more room. Kind of shot the gap here. Look at Brennan Lacey. He thinks he's got it. Everything's safe. Boom. Boy, just the drivers just keep collecting. Pat Boyce. Looks like he slides out of control there. Tim Chapman may have clipped him there, seeing the front end damage. A lot of drivers going to be coming back down pit here. See if I can find Neil Strausser here. I want to see what he sees from his angle. All right, let's watch this full speed here. Neil Strausser just can't get a break. He's still got, I believe, a damaged race car here. So. So, back down pit road. Neil Strausser comes. Been a frequent visitor 4 times tonight. Tim Chapman's actually been down 5 times, if I'm not mistaken. I think Tim Chapman, there he comes. Squeezing out of pit road here. I think he just exited on a closed pit, so he might end up with an EOL penalty back to the back of the line for him. Father and son duo there. Almost met back up. Zach Chapman right now doing the better out of the two. I would probably say some guys out there end up with better luck than others. I'll say Kyle Moonen, check that out. He's back up to 6th. So far, so good out of Kyle Moonen here. Wonder if I... Definitely some tough driving out there. Roger Craig, here he is. Looks like a pit stop here at lap 47. He'll be squeaking his way back out there. Let's see. Pace car lights are out. Steven Goldner gets to pick his lane. Inside it will be. Jeffrey Kemper will be lining up alongside him. With the win last week, Jeffrey Kemper's got to be feeling pretty good about this. I know we were talking about him just getting the track, so he's definitely put down some practice time here. But Jeffrey Kemper kind of had a really crummy qualifying time, as seeing he is up 19 positions to at least be sitting here in second. So, man, really, Jeffrey Kemper on the move. But not as much as on the move as Steven Goldner. I think he wants to line himself up for another driver of the week. Let's take a look here. Steven Goldner with a restart. Away he goes. Zach Chapman, I think he would prefer to start third every time, because he'll have the upper hand here with Jeffrey Kemper here on the outside. Zach Chapman having to check up there a little bit, riding that inside line. And, man, once again, I think we're back under caution. Jackson Lomax may have been in this one. See if we can take a peek at it from the top side here. Jackson Lomax in the 96. Oh. Roger Craig gets a little loose, a little love tap right there on that left quarter panel. Says that 96 around. Man, oh man. Just a little too close. Just a little too close. See if we can take a peek out of the backside here of Jackson Lomax. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think, let's see if that drone's out there. I think should look and be okay. Yeah, a little damage there at the backside of that truck. See, he's kind of caved in a little bit right around that filler neck. Roger Craig didn't like the way that looked, so he straightened it out for him. Definitely something to consider. Roger may have had new tires there, so if that was the case, that's what ended up happening. Didn't quite stick up just yet. Jackson Lomax, still a lot of work to do to get his way back to the front. If I'm not mistaken, I think John Mateo is out of the race. And a lot of guys kind of checking out here. I think a lot of guys are ending up getting kind of mushed up. These guys kind of recollect themselves, file them back up. We'll see if RC continues to allow it double wide here. We've ended up with a bunch of cautions back to back. They shouldn't be going single file, seeing that we're under that 25 lap mark. But there's still always a possibility. Always a possibility as the pace car lights are still on. And Stephen Goldner still leads the race. Zach Chapman finally got that break, sitting, got the upper hand there on Jeffrey Kemper. So now Zach Chapman's in the second, Kemper's in the third. Matthew Robinson broke out of fifth, moving to fourth, but boy, he's got a fast Kyle Moonen behind him. Andrew Smith, I would probably say, was the thorn in the side of Matthew Robinson there, but he's got the best of them there. Sean Grace in the seventh, Chris Schaefer in the eighth, Doyle Lowrance in ninth, and Pat Boyce. Highest Salty Dog right now sitting 10th. Right now he's up 17 positions here in this race. Pat Boyce still got a lot of work to do. Solid top 10 is always good. But if Pat Boyce can stick this one out, this should be really, really good for him in the points race. Right now, Pat Boyce is sitting 31st. Here in the Truck Series, I believe he missed a race. So we would like to definitely keep this one under wraps here. All right, let's see how Stephen Golden restart looks like from the top. There we go, good separation. Zach Chapman's got to figure out if Kemper's going to shoot the gap, and he doesn't. Oh, man, Jeffrey Kemper not liking that inside line here. Oh, man, yeah, we're going to stay here on the top as we got a lot of guys mixing it up here. Chris Schaefer moving around. Andrew Smith pushed to the top. Schaefer now on the inside here of Jeffrey Kemper. Let's move that around. I don't like looking at the back of the stands. I like looking at the front of these cars. Chris Schaefer on the bottom, connection with the 79, but that is not going to bring the caution out. As we are up to 8 cautions here so far. Tim Chapman's collected in this. Heavy right side damage out of the 37 Chevrolet. Definitely a lot of hard work by a lot of drivers out here. Let's take a look at Tim Chapman. Looks like he's on the outside here. Oh. Man, contact right there. Let me see if I can get our cameraman here to see if we can get another angle. Kind of the rotation. Yeah, it looks like the 43 may have rotated up here. That'll be Brad Wetzel collects the 37. Everything A-okay. There's the damage. Boom. Hard shot there on the right side. Yeah, I will admit, Tim Chapman's got the magnet on him tonight. So if they I think maybe some good humor out there and be, kind of the most incidents out there, and I wouldn't say any fault of his own at this point. It's looking pretty tough here for Tim Chapman. Back down to 22nd position as we see him working his way back out of pit here. With right side damage still to that truck, he's going to be having a hard time battling his way back to the front. Speaking of the front, Stephen Goldner, Zach Chapman, and Matthew Robinson has now gotten in the third. No, Jeffrey Kemper, after a hard check up there, has slid out of the top 5, sitting 6th. He's been running second most all night. We still go, guys. If you were thinking about joining the Coast to Coast Racing League, whether it be dirt or the asphalt, C2CRL.com is where you need to go. You'll be able to see the schedule, points leading, everything, everything else, kind of where to sign up. I believe we even have a charity event coming up here pretty soon, so you can check out to that if you're looking to sponsor it as well. Of course, C2CRL.com. That's where you're going to be able to find everything that we are talking about here tonight, even broadcasts, I believe we've done as well. You'll be able to find all sorts of things there as well. And you know, and come to think of it, I think actually in the Coast to Coast Speed Shop, I think they've even got apparel there. You'll be able to sign up for the C2C Racing School, so when you join up here, we'll be able to have guys be able to lock and load you, you know, teach you guys, teach you driving lines if you're feeling a little rusty, if you're like, you know, maybe dirt's my thing, I want to try asphalt, like some of the guys out here, or you're asphalt and you're looking to try dirt, that's where I need to come in, because I am no good at the dirt, but it's definitely something to kind of put into perspective, as these guys will be out here to help you. So Zach Chapman in the 72 Young Gun Creation Cool Ray truck sitting second right now. Do want to give a shout out there to Young Gun Creations. Austin Young, unfortunately, was not able to show up tonight. Definitely a fast driver out there on the asphalt. Zach Chapman's going to represent the Young Gun Creation cars out here. And no better way than have it sitting there in the front row. But how long can Zach Chapman keep in the front row? Matthew Robinson, fast truck. If you're looking to stay with Matthew Robinson, you can tune in to Simtrax Broadcasting. He'll be at the Racing Revolution League tomorrow. But right now, he's got to finish this one here tonight. After a cool down, as Matthew Robinson tries to shoot the gap here on the inside of hopefully our final restart. Robinson rotates into Zach Chapman there. Boy, Zach Chapman's going to be over the radio on that one. Yeah, Matthew Robinson trying to send as much speed as he could coming out of 2 and has collected the 72. Zach Chapman now down to 4th. Sean Gray saw that opportunity. He's going to squeeze it here. Kyle Moonen now boxed in on the bottom. Kyle Moonen, boom. Another shot to 72. Right now, the Chapmans here tonight just can't seem to find any room out here not to get hammered around. But we've only got 7 laps to go here at Richmond International Speedway. Nice, cool night here in Virginia. Zach Chapman battling alongside Kyle Moonen. Chapman trying his desperately to keep strong here for a top 5 finish. He's got a long way to go with Steven Goldner. Whatever he does each and every week, he's got to keep up with it. But Zach Chapman off the table. And he's sliding all around now, losing massive amounts of spots. Here we go, 5th, 7th, 8th. Here he goes, keeps going. Now he's alongside the 514. That should be Nathan Aldridge. Chevrolet is all around him. He's in good company, but can he keep up? Right now, Zach Chapman may have a lot of right side damage, and that's going to do it for him. He's going to check out here tonight. Let's stay up here with Kyle Moonen, who he's battling next to. And Jeffrey Kemper sitting 4th. Matthew Robinson, unfortunately, has lost 2nd place to Sean Grace as they keep the charge on. A race leader here all tonight, John Mateo. He ended up losing internet here tonight, so the pain continues for him. Definitely not able to get a race win out of him just yet. Race winners here so far, Goldner and Grace. Here, 1 and 2 seem to be owning this league so far. But neither one of these guys, I lied. I take that back. Sean Grace is in the top 5 in points. He is sitting 2nd right now with a win here. If he can come up with a win over Chris Schaefer, who's a points leader sitting 7th, this is going to tighten the gap. Only 17 points separate those two guys. Let's see, here we go. Stella out there in the chat says, come on, Chapman, don't let him get to you. I would say that, but I think, like I said, I think he may have checked out of this one. Zach Chapman, that is. He's definitely getting hammered around here all night. Good moves being made and not enough time. Sean Grace had been setting up Steven Goldner for a couple laps here and is now going to be, for lack of better terms, kind of hosed on this one. Because we've got a caution out, and I believe this one's got Terry Landis involved. Terry Landis, and oh, man. I hope my ticker's wrong. I hope my ticker is wrong. All right, let's see if we can get a Malcolm Mills mill riding replay here. Let's see if we can get this thing loaded up for you. Let's take a look at it from the top side. Here's Oh, boy. Landis and Olsen here. Neil. That's what I was wondering. It shows Neil Strausser come up out of nowhere. I was trying to figure out how he ended up getting caught in this. I'll see if we can try to keep along Neil here and see if something loosens up or what happens here. Oh, yeah, you see the brakes lock up. Yeah, once his brakes lock up, you lose all steering. And that's it. 60A is hammered to pieces. Man, I'll tell you what, Neil Strausser's night is not tonight. Not at all. Not at all. Get back to it. 9 cautions here tonight, 1 short of last week. Still a chance of another one. I know we got a bunch of green-white cautions out here. There are attempts. Looks like lucky dog around will be Roger Craig in the 747. So we see Roger Craig Chevrolet get back on, back up front here. Right now sitting 23rd. Barry Goldner, 17th. I'm trying to sign Brennan Lacey, who should be sitting in that 12th position. Pat Boyce has fallen down 4 positions out of the top 10, sitting 14th now. So, any driver out there on the track, I know I've been talking about Matthew Robinson and his 15 Ford a lot here tonight. Really, this is kind of his time to shine on this restart. With Sean Grace getting the upper hand on him on the last run. He has to get this restart really nailed. I mean, he's got to nail this one. As soon as Goldner goes, he's got to jump to capitalize on this caution. I know in Sean Grace's mind, this is absolutely detrimental to him because he was setting up Goldner for a pass, and it looked like we were going to have a new race leader here tonight, and that's just not so. Pace car lights are still on. Gonna keep it going here. I think the 30 is Steven Goldner, kind of showing everybody get away from my sides here because he wants to. He's been using up all the track here tonight to take possibly another win here. Sean Grace trying to show him, yeah, you want that bottom line. So 2 bandy-built drivers there. From this angle, you can definitely tell from the backsides of those trucks. Right now, 1, 2, and 4. Matthew Robinson should be sitting 3rd as he snugs up to the 30 machine. All right, got a good slew of cars here so far. 2 Fords, 2 Toyotas, and Kyle Moonen's only Chevrolet here in the top 5. Let's get it done. Stella out there in the chat. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. Not many comments out there, but Barney's got something to say. Green flag. Away they go. Matthew Robinson going to take this inside edge. Let's get a better camera angle for the 15 machine. Trying to see if he can get the upper hand on Sean Grace. Round he goes for turn 1 racing here. See if 15 makes contact. Definitely hooks up way too soon, and now, oh boy. Yeah, I know what this is going to be. Huge, huge caution here. Oh, Tim Chapman. What? He gets it right at the end, no matter what. The 37 machine gets popped right at the end, no matter what. I think the 37's stuck on the barrels too. Yeah, he's got to be pretty hot right now. So Matthew Robinson is working his way down pit as we work on our Malcolm Mills mill riding replay here, and I think that might do it for Matt Robinson tonight. He would have to pray on an entire another rotation here, if I'm not mistaken. I think I've seen this before. Matthew Robinson, I thought, made collection there with Roland Olsen earlier in the race. And I think this has happened before. So let's take a look at it. And Matthew Robinson rotating up. Sean Grace has got a good line here. Now, Sean Grace holds it. But I don't know if Matthew Robinson didn't feel it there. As now the collection starts. This grabs just about every driver here. Brendan Lacey looks like a crushed tin can on the way through. Sean Grace, what a terrible night for him. Man, so close. Top 3 out. I mean, just got squished all to pieces here. Let's see if we can find Tim Chapman. I actually want to see if we can find Tim Chapman here and kind of see what happened to him. He had squeaked through. He made it. But then he got hammered here. What happened to Tim Chapman? I think A-okay. They're pretty good. Whoop. Wonder if Tim was trying to pit. He got hit by Boyce here. Definitely a wild one we got for you here, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, once again, joining us here, Simtrax Broadcasting or the Coast to Coast Racing Network, whichever you choose. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Definitely get the latest in racing. Know we got a lot of big things here for the Simtrax Broadcasting team here. Definitely going to be busy if I'm thinking right. I think I've got at least 4 days. We're going to be busy, busy, busy. Talking about tomorrow, Travis Piercefield. Now, he's going to be busy. Now, tomorrow, he's going to be, once again, there at Lincoln Speedway. He's going to be holding the 360s and the 410s down for that one. Yeah, 305, 360s, and the 410s, and then a street stock Enduro. Then, moving to Thursday, he's going to be with the small block 358s. And then, either the small blocks or the big blocks after that at Kokomo. And then if you haven't gotten enough of this Asphalt Richmond, he's going to be actually holding the Xfinity run at Richmond. 75 laps there. And I'm definitely tell you what, like I said, I might be there. I definitely don't want to make myself the joke of the race. But going to try to give it a shot out there. There you are, Chuck Fletcher. I see you. C. Fletcher Racing. Happy New Year, Simtrack. Hey, appreciate it, bud. Hey, I see that typo there. Simtrax, man. We ain't going with a K. Get out of here. All right, let's get it done. Hopefully this will be the last restart here. Come on, Stephen Goldner. Away he goes for the final restart here. Cross our fingers. Stephen Goldner getting squeezed through. Let's take a look. Chris Schaefer, man, oh man, up to second. He's got his chance here as long as he can get these tires to stick. Chris Schaefer did pit on lap 42. Stephen Goldner on 21, so he's got the fresher tires. Can he run him down? All right, white flag, come on. Cross the line. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what happens, happens. Chris Schaefer sitting here running down Stephen Goldner in the third. 34 getting squeaked away here. He might be able to run away with this one. The battle's actually going to be between Doyle Lawrence and Mark Gilbert. But as I say that, no battle here. We're going to be mashing each other to pieces. Let's stay with who is in third. Is Jeremy Tate with Brendan Lacey trying to run him down. So close. As Jeremy Tate gets third, Brendan Lacey in the fourth, Zach Neubauer fifth. what? Man, I saw them bumping and banging coming out of two. I knew something was going to happen there. That was going to be a nasty one. That was going to be a nasty one here. See if we can take a look at her top side. That's where you see the 76 making contact here. Mark Gilbert into the 3 of Doyle. Boom. All right, let's stay with him here. Oh, there's John Rayner got collected. Oh, hello, Max Amberger got collected in this. Holy cow. That was... Just can't seem to catch a break here. A lot of drivers mashed to pieces, and that's why I've definitely got to show you guys the final results here of the race. Wow. Stephen Goldner, Chris Schaefer, and Jeremy Tate, 1, 2, and 3. I wouldn't say That I wasn't expecting that, but just from the look of it, the top 12 are the only guys out of a 33 truck race here tonight that made it on the lead lap here. So a lot of guys just, you got to be figuring at this point just the frustration level. I'm so close. I'm right there. I'm almost there. I'm just and then that being the end. So let's rotate to the back half of the field here. Kind of our final guys on the track. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Definitely something to slice up there. But we're going to get our guys here for our top 3. And the last of this. Yeah, and I bet you Jeremy Tate, I've got to ask him. There is no way, shape, or form he thought he was going to make this run here sitting in third. There's no way. There's no way. He's got to be beside himself at this point. All right, let's talk to him. Jeremy Tate, I bet 110% you didn't think of a third place finish for you here tonight.
Absolutely not.
What a wild mashup there right at the end. Kind of what was the key to avoiding that one?
I don't even know, to be honest. I saw him getting loose. I figured stay up high. Worse, we all get together, but I made it through and kind of freaking out going into 3 because I didn't expect it, like you said.
Yeah, well, it was definitely how close those guys got and then the spinouts. If I remember right, your 8 Toyota was in a lot of trouble here tonight, and you were just able to stick it out. How do you stay calm through the cautions and still come out on top?
During cautions, me and my teammates kind of just shoot the breeze, calm down, recollect, and try again when it goes green.
All right, definitely. I would say that's easy, but it is just so hard. Just, you get going, and then, oh man, what in the world am I gonna do? Here you are participating in this race, sitting 16th in points. This is going to give you a huge boost, at least toward the front, with the top 3 finish. You excited about what we got upcoming?
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to the Xfinity Trail and all that. Trying to make sure I lock into that.
All right, I know I don't get to talk to you much, but Michigan is next week. We leave the short track super speedway style. How confident you feeling there?
I like those much better. I didn't expect this at all tonight.
All right, Jeremy Tate, give me your shout-outs, man. Let's get you ready for Michigan.
My ESW guys, Jacob, Dwayne, Preston, Brandon, Ish Canyon, you and Roger, and everybody else involved with the league to make this happen.
All right. ESW team, man, what happened to John Mateo?
He disconnected. His car dropped at the restart, kicked him out. He lost his internet, he said.
All right, well, definitely take some notes off John Mateo. I'm not saying you're a bad driver. All I'm saying is John Mateo has been out here getting pole after pole after pole, so whatever he's doing on that hot lap, I think if you could qualify a lot higher, kind of in the top 5 here, Jeremy, I think you might have one hell of a shot for a win here, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely keep stabbing at it,
All right, Jeremy. Great job tonight. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right, everybody. That is Jeremy Tate in that 8 Toyota we're taking a look at on our screen. That moves us to our second place finisher, Chris Schaefer. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Chris Schaefer, second place position tonight. Not without a whole lot of track battles here, but you ended up pulling it out right at the end.
Yeah, I just kind of stayed out of the trouble. I mean, I didn't qualify so well, and I was like, man, this is going to be a long night. And I just missed the wrecks when they happened in front of me and lucked out that way.
Man, how in the world do you say out of the wrecks, out of the wrecks? Dude, there were a ton. There were a ton. We had at least 10 cautions out there, and there just didn't seem to be a safe place on the track. But you seem to kind of find them here and there. Where were they?
I just try to keep a bubble. If I wasn't faster than a person in front of me, I try to keep a bubble so I had some reactionary time, as long as there was nobody behind me pressuring me. So that gave me a little bit of time to like dive low or dive high if I needed to.
Yeah, definitely. What line did you find was the most successful out there? It was about the middle, because I saw you touch the paint a couple of times here.
Do we have enough green flag laps to figure that out? I mean, I don't honestly know if I even figured out what the fast line was. I mean, in practice, it was arc it in off of one and come down across, and then 3 and 4 is just so like you're tied into 3 and then loose off of 4, and trying to figure that out. I hadn't figured it out, so I had to pedal it through there. But usually, right around the bottom is what I figured out was the fastest for me. But again, I wasn't that quick. Just lucked out tonight.
Well, points leader here. Second place finish definitely holds it there. Stephen Goldner will be still chasing you, even though he got a win here. Boy, it's just, it's so hard to figure out how to be consistent, but you're figuring out how to do it. But Michigan ends up being next week. Confidence level heading into the super speedway style.
I'm good. I like that. I feel like I'm fast there, because the brakes don't come into as much of a play. And so like you can roll out, save tire, and usually I'm better at the end of the run.
Oh yeah, well definitely tire savings. I know that's where I capitalize is more on the tire savings, not merely the fuel savings area. Definitely working on that a lot. But Chris Schaefer, give me a shout outs here, and let's get you ready for Michigan.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast at Simtrax, right?
Oh yeah,
and Roger, for the league putting it on, Getting Hooked, who's been a long time sponsor and supporter of mine, Nuke's Performance, A&J Custom Creations, Andy Patton's company came on board here recently. The boys at Turn 1 and Inferno Motorsports that helped me out throughout the week. Yeah, and that's about it, man.
All right. Well, Chris Schaefer there at Turn 1. You better tell Matthew Robinson how to take a Turn 2 exit here, man. That was I think he definitely had a shot at it here tonight, but he ended up kind of wiping himself out there.
Yeah, he was a little frustrated there.
I bet. I would definitely not want to have my headset on for that one. Chris Schaefer in the 23 Chevrolet. Great job tonight.
See you next week.
All right, everybody. That is going to be Chris Schaefer. That moves us to our race winner here. Race winner being Stephen Goldner. Once again, just man on a mission. Man on a mission. The 30 Ford up 31 positions for the win. Kind of what's the key? Do you just not qualify and you like getting that driver of the week mention?
I don't know about that. I kind of have a system that I've been doing the last couple of weeks. I guess the whole season now, and it's been working. So I just kind of stick to it. And I save my tires. I pit quite regular early, but not really for tires, and just kind of save my tires for most of the race until the end. And then I just get lucky with all these cautions at the end of the race. If we didn't have cautions, Sean would have beat me for sure there on that green flag run. He was damn near inside of me coming to 2 to go, and he would easily pass me. I might have been able to hold on the second there, but yeah, the cautions definitely saved me tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely really a tight squeeze there. I know, Sean Grace, he looked like he had a solid line here, but you are the only one out there who pit on lap 21, and everyone else has pit after you. So you were the one out there on your tires the longest and came out with the race win here. Definitely something to keep in mind for a lot of these drivers out there. Kind of... I would question it at this point, Steven, kind of what on the track can you not do? We're starting to get a lot of wins. You're coming from the back to the front, and it's just how you're able to capitalize. And you keep saying it's cautions. You don't think it's driving style?
I don't know. I'm super patient around these guys early. I try not to tear my stuff up, and I just kind of cruise until I think it's go time, and then I start to pass cars. But normally I just cruise around and just keep my front end clean, keep the back end clean, and just try to go when I think it's time. I'm sure it's a little bit of luck. I don't know if I really have driving ability on NASCAR. I'm more of a dirt guy. Probably a little bit more luck than driving ability, but we'll take a little bit of driving ability, I guess, since we're doing it not every week, but fairly often, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, Vanderbilt Racing's got to be proud of you, seeing you getting in the front yet again. Man, dude, this is just so wild how you're able to just come from the back to the front each and every week, regardless if you're winning. I'm seeing you here in a podium position. and it's rocking out here so far. Michigan is the next track we're at. Is it kind of the same mindset, like, being calm with these guys, or is it, we got to be top qualifier and stay out front?
No, Michigan, I'll do the same thing all season. It doesn't really matter to me because the light races are so long. I'm used to, 30 lap sprint car races at, 15 seconds a lap. So I got all the time in the world when I come do this NASCAR stuff. It's just nothing but hanging out with some good buddies in Discord and hanging out and wait until it's time to go.
Right. 50 laps at Michigan is what you guys got locked and loaded for next week. Go ahead and give me a shout out here, Steven, and let's get you ready for that.
I gotta thank all the guys at Banny Built and Sean Grace and Brad and Moonan's buddies, but they're definitely been a huge help to me with the NASCAR stuff. That's for sure. They're a good group of guys, and bringing those two along into with the Banny Built guys, it's a lot of fun for the NASCAR stuff. Bikeman Brothers, Brother.com, It's Perfect Photography. You guys for the broadcast, Roger and everyone for the league and everything they do for everyone.
All right, Stephen Goldner, if you are not at Michigan, you're definitely going to have another shot at this for the Xfinity League on Thursday. We'll keep an eye out for you in that 30 machine, man. Great job tonight.
Yeah, hopefully we're talking again on Thursday.
Oh, that'll be Travis.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right, man. That is all right. Travis Piercefield holds it down pretty well. Great job tonight, Stephen.
All right, thanks a lot. Hopefully we're talking to you next week. How's that?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I like the sound of that.
Perfect. Have a good night.
You too. All right, everybody. Stephen Goldner getting it done there, right there. Stephen Goldner, Chris Schaefer, Jeremy Tate, 1, 2, and 3. Brennan Lacey, 13 positions up in the 4th. And Zach Neubauer into 5th. Everybody in the top 5 had moved up at least 12 positions or more. Stephen Goldner, the hardest charger here, up 31 positions. Hopefully John Mateo can get that internet fixed and get it squared away, because I would love to see how well he can do. But thank you guys for joining us here at Simtrax Broadcasting. Whether you're on the Coast to Coast Racing Network or on one of the 3 platforms that I'm sending it to, I appreciate you guys showing up and tuning in. Tomorrow, we'll in the Coast to Coast Racing League, you'll be at Lincoln Speedway with Travis Piercefield and the Extreme eSpeed TV. If you want to follow along here with Simtrax, Racing Revolution resumes at none other than Michigan for the start of the round of 16, I believe, at Michigan for the first round of the playoffs. So these guys are going to be duking it out with the top guys, and that's really going to be really a squeeze for those guys to really put on a show. It's going to be tight. A lot of guys just barely squeaked in, and others won it by a landslide. Patrick Morrison with Simtrax Broadcasting coming to you, but signing off here for tonight. See you guys next time. Be well, be safe, be kind, and I'll see you guys next time.